The fighter standing in the blue corner. He wears blue with gold and silver. He officially weighs in 108 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, pantaloncillo color azul con plata y oro, con un peso de 108 libras. In his professional campaign, he stands with a record a near perfect one. 11 victories, 1 lone defeat, and 7 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 11 victorias, 1 derrota y 7 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. De Zamora, Michoacán, Jesús, el Flaco Lemus. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing black and silver. He officially weighs in the same, 108 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, pantaloncillo color negro con plata, con un peso idéntico de 108 libras. He stands with a professional record consisting of 13 victories, no defeats, 4 draws, and 7 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 13 victorias, 0 derrotas, 4 empates y 7 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. Representando Team Zona Norte de Tijuana, Hector, el rapidito Flores. And now to give out the final instructions, para dar las indicaciones finales, su referee Ángel Méndez. 6 asaltos, 6 rounds.
And here we go for our second bout of the evening. You have Hector Rapidito Flores versus Jesus Flaco Lemus in the flyweight division. Now you have hometown fighter in Hector Flores coming in from Tijuana, right down the street, Zona Norte. If you guys follow boxing, if you guys love boxing, you guys know Eric El Terrible Morales from where? Zona Norte. And funny I say that name because the favorite fighter of his opponent, Jesus Flaco Lemus, is Eric Morales. So 2 fighters who for sure have seen Eric Morales fight. One, his favorite fighter. One, in the same colonia, so to speak, how we say it here in Tijuana.
It's definitely a huge opportunity to get to learn from your favorite fighter.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we see that same style. You know, I know that in my career, I would try to emulate the guys that I looked up to, and Eric Morales was definitely one of them. You know, that exciting boxer puncher style. But he seems a little bit overwhelmed right now, does Lemus?
You know, Flores looks real calm. It being the first round, like you mentioned, Zona Norte is right down the street, a couple blocks away. I'm sure he's real comfortable here.
Yeah, he's definitely real comfortable. He didn't have to come far. Woke up this morning. Probably could have walked here. Right? Is that what we're both thinking? Good overhand right, followed by a left hook by Lemus. Kind of glanced that left hook. Going to the body.
I'd like to see Lemus utilize that jab, how he's doing right now.
Yeah, considering, you know, when you opened up the tail of the tape, you said, you know, you want him fighting from the outside, being the longer fighter, but Flores is doing a good job of closing the distance with those solid body shots right there.
Yeah, he's definitely putting in work on the inside.
And he's got good head movement. He's got a good boxing pedigree, it seems. He's got a good amount of amateur fights, but so does Lemus. You know, right here in our fighter meetings, 95 amateur bouts for Jesus Lemus. You know, but to be honest, Dylan, it doesn't show. But maybe like we talked about that 2-year layoff. You think that could have done it? 2-year layoff from the ring?
It definitely could have been. You know, ring rust does exist, and he is coming from you know, Michoacán, so it's gonna take a little bit for him to get used to being back in the ring.
And a little bit of orthodox punch there by Lemus, trying to get his opponent's attention. Not very effective behind the back.
Right.
So some guys believe in ring rust, other guys. I'm going to throw out my good friend in UFC fighter Dominic Cruz. He says there is no ring rust. It's all in your head. What is your assessment?
I think initially, maybe the first round, you might feel that ring rust. But muscle memory is real.
Yeah,
you know?
okay. And it seems like Jesus Lemus sees that ring rust right there as Flores just kind of unloads a fury of shots there. So Dylan, you're in the corner of Lemus, the taller fighter. What do you tell him? Because at the beginning you wanted him to fight that distance. What do you tell him now in between rounds?
I would tell him to use his jab. I haven't seen a lot of a stiff jab to keep him on the outside. You have to hurt him coming in, so he can hesitate.
Yes, definitely.
Next time.
You have to earn his respect.
You have to earn his respect.
He really hasn't earned Flores' respect. Flores is just walking in on his shots like he did there. And there he goes with the jab to the body, but not too much mustard, I guess you could say, on it. And there he goes, working to the body, then working his way back up.
No mustard, but we're seeing some combos.
Yeah, we definitely are seeing some combos. The flyweights really aren't known for that power punching style, but you're kind of seeing it from Flores. The times that Lemus has landed, nothing too grand.
Yeah, you see Flores sitting down on those punches.
Yeah, what I was about to say is the fact that he seems to be hurting Lemus there.
Good waist movement by Flores.
And you can hear those shots, but I think they're being caught on the elbows by Flores. And he just nods to him. Yeah, keep it coming. Keeps coming forward. Throwing a good combination there. Nothing landed. And that right to the body is something that I recall. That right straight to the body is something that I recall Eric Morales would throw often. And making that comparison that he's right there from here, Tijuana. Tijuana's a big city, but Zona Norte, it's a small little colonia. And once again, I'm pretty sure he knows who he is, and that was a reminder of how he used to throw that right hand, Eric Morales.
And when Flores is coming in, Lemus is turning with his shoulder, his left shoulder. I wonder if he's trying to do the shoulder roll like Mayweather.
I would say that's a poor man's rendition of the Mayweather. Definitely without the money, no money. We're starting off here, folks. We're starting off. Your goal is to get there. And those are some solid shots by Flores, continuously punishing Lemus to the body, and at times just bringing it back up to the head, reminding him, hey, you have a head, I'm going to hit it. But he continuously punching that body and getting good shots as Lemus continues to back up, not really throwing punches and just kind of trying to protect his body, lowering his elbows and leaning only to the right side. Maybe that, and there he goes with a good combination, does Lemus. But it seems as Flores is just a little bit too strong.
I am seeing this fight is for 6 rounds, so it might be a strategy that Lemus is using, waiting a little bit, letting his opponent get tired, because Flores has been working these last 2 rounds, and
Flores not so much.
There's 4 more.
Yeah. Okay. But we talked about the ring side. I mean the ring side, the ring rust. 2-year layoff. Maybe that has something to do with Lemus starting a little slow. I just have to give it up to Flores. Flores is landing some good shots and just coming forward and no regards for Lemus's counter punches or even lead shots. He's just walking through everything.
Looking solid, having good waist movement, good head movement, and powerful punches.
And we get some banda machos in the background here. As we start the second round, we got Hector Rapidito Flores from La Zona Norte, Tijuana, Mexico, fighting Jesus Flaco Lemus from Zamora, Michoacán. Starting our second round. Third round, excuse me, my apologies. And I got corrected with a little pet from my co-host here, Dylan Miranda. Too many shots to the head, Chris, he's saying. But it goes to say that it was a good fight, that it's a good fight. Like, I always say, when you don't really remember, like, you just know that you're watching a good fight. It's an exciting fight. You don't necessarily remember one aspect of the fight. You know, you have Flores coming forward. You have Lemus trying to get him off him. But Lemus is responding. He's throwing good shots. But those body shots, Dylan, those body shots by Flores, that's something that you think they told him in the corner?
Yeah, I'm sure that was part of the strategy. Him being a taller fighter, he's going to have that body open for those body shots. And the pressure that Flores is putting on Lemus is definitely has to be affected. Lemus, it doesn't let you think when somebody is continuously coming forward, throwing punches at you.
And coming from Zamora, Michoacán, we don't honestly. I don't know how prominent boxing is there, or widespread. Is he getting that sparring, Lemus? Because Hector Flores definitely getting that good sparring. Sometimes as I remember, I started and you started your career here in Tijuana. Sparring is a dime a dozen. Right?
Definitely. Here in Tijuana, that's one of the things that I loved about boxing here is that the fighters go to all the gyms around here. So you get to see all the different styles. You get to see, undefeated fighters. You get to spar with world champions. And, it builds fighters that are good like Flores is looking right now.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I recall starting off, my career in San Diego, but we would come down to Azteca here in Independencia here in Tijuana, and I remember Margarito would show up every once in a while, and and nobody makes a big deal, nobody makes a big fuss. Hey, it's just a fighter. He's here to train, and he would do that. Come in here, train. You had Victor Burgos, former flyweight champion, just training there, no big deal, and that's something that these fighters see in Tijuana. You see those big names and no big deal. Dime a dozen. And those hard body shots by Flores again. That one seemed to get Lemus's attention. He's kind of backing up a little bit. He seems like he wants to go down. He doesn't. He makes it to the bell. End of the third round.
I would like to see Lemus work on the inside. If he's not going to be able to keep him on the outside, he needs to work when Flores is on the inside attacking his bodies. Just catch one, counter.
It seems
but he needs to do something.
It seems like the ring rust, going back to that, is kind of taking its effect. Or maybe without any ring rust and a full camp from Lemus, he still couldn't get Hector Flores off him. He's a tough fighter, man. He's coming forward, throwing strong shots. I mentioned earlier the flyweight division not known for hard shots, but as we see the replay, tell me, Dylan, what do you see?
I mean, we see exactly what we've been talking about, just Flores coming forward, putting on that pressure, not letting, Lemus really do much.
Jesus Lemus hasn't been able to get the respect of Hector Flores in the first 3 rounds. See if he can do it in the 4th round, but it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen, Dylan. What do you see playing out in this 4th round, considering Lemus is wearing down?
I do see more of what we've been seeing, but what could happen is Flores has been attacking all these rounds. That does, wear on you. He might start to slow down a little bit where Lemus could capitalize on. We did see him do a combination a couple seconds ago.
He threw a flurry, but Flores is in his face. There's really not much he can do to get him off him. There he goes with another combination, but Flores right back coming strong counter to the face and then back down to the body.
Good right hook by Lemus on that exchange.
And to me, Dylan, it seems like Lemus is just kind of waiting for a lull and just backing up into the corner, and really not much action from Lemus.
You know, I don't see him feeling the urgency.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. No urgency. I think he's just trying to survive. Even surviving, he's not holding, not backpedaling too much. He's just sitting there. Now, Dylan, as a cornerman, would you consider stopping the fight for Jesus Lemus? He's taking a lot of hard shots right here in this fourth round.
You know, he took a lot of punishment the first 3 rounds. I would allow him to continue. He needs to feel this. He needs to get back into the sport. He needs to get rid of that ring rust if it does exist, and move on from there.
And there he goes, coming back with 3-punch combination, but Flores responding right back, not giving him an inch, and then down goes his mouthpiece. Was that his mouthpiece? Am I seeing things? I don't think I have my glasses on here right now.
I don't see a mouthpiece, Chris.
It seems like it was
Lemus
coming out.
We do see Lemus a bit more responsive this round.
Those are hard shots by Flores, landing on the top of Lemus's head. The referee looking close, and no consideration in stopping the fight.
He needs to catch those punches and counter.
And Hector Flores living up to his nickname, Rapidito, which means, how would you say that in English? How would you translate Rapidito to English, Dylan? I know you're the Spanish expert here.
And you're throwing that to me because neither of us know.
Let's just go and say the Flash.
It could
Quickie.
be the Flash, you know, Quickie. I was thinking Quickie. I was like, is
Quickie
that a
as well.
word? Is that a word?
I was thinking Quickie, but with no sexual connotations, as I know how perverse your mind goes. But again, Hector Flores having his way with Jesus Flaco Lemus, and already in the 5th round, Lemus surviving. Here we see a little bit more of the body shots thrown by Hector Flores.
And with those body shots, Chris, what Lemus is doing is dropping his head, and Flores is picking him up with those uppercuts.
Yeah, he threw a bunch of uppercuts in the 4th round, excuse me. And kind of what you wanted to see, Dylan, at the beginning is Lemus throwing those long jabs, and he's jabbing to the body. One thing I always tell fighters, you know, the jab is not just to the head. You can jab to the body. It kind of wears on a fighter. It doesn't hurt, but it annoys you enough that it'll open up other things.
What I'm seeing that's different in this round is that Flores isn't coming in with those furies. And at the start of the round, Lemus was keeping him at a distance. That's where he needs to keep him.
At the start of the round, but here comes Flores once again on the attack. And relentless, just touching, and then power. Touching, and then power. He keeps ripping to the body. And Lemus trying to get him off him. Picks him up there with a good uppercut, but not enough to keep Flores off him. And Lemus's corner asking him to throw to the body, but it doesn't seem like he has the energy.
I don't think
Another
Flores
right hand by
respects,
Flores.
Lemus's punching power, because he's just walking through. That was some good waist movement right there.
Yeah, not only is Flores stronger than him, he's just more technically sound. He has a better boxing base. He's moving his head like you just mentioned. And not every shot is hard. Another thing I tell young fighters, you don't have to throw everything with heat. You can pity pat. put some heat on the third, fourth shot, fifth shot, go back to pity pat, and then seventh, eighth. And that was a good body shot by Lemus, but a good comeback by Flores. And it might be, Dylan, what do you think? That Lemus might be a little bit too tough for his own good, considering he's taking a lot of shots.
You know, Chris, everybody who steps in this ring is a warrior, and they're not going to quit. You do not quit in the ring. I expect him to go, you know,
until he can't go no more.
Until the end.
And that's a weird little right hand he's trying to pity pat to the body. It's not effective. And Flores is just capitalizing on it immediately. And that relentless pressure from Flores keeps coming. Lemus has no answer. He takes a few steps back, but then he folds his head right back down. Really not much he can do from the attack of Flores. And like I mentioned earlier, maybe the flyweights don't have the punching power. Maybe that's why we're seeing Lemus sticking around a little bit longer than usual, right? But Flores' game, man. Flores is just putting it on him.
Got to give it to Lemus, though. Staying in there like a champ.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take a look at our ring card girls with the coronavirus masks, keeping that 6 feet distance for your enjoyment. You know, we're bringing you boxing, Best in Boxing, promoted by Toscano Promotions. And here are those shots. You know, you have Flores sitting down on those body shots. You know, and once again, Lemus, no answer, no reply, and just like Flores is hitting a heavy bag, really no response.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 6, your final round, damas y caballeros. Este es el round número 6, el último round.
As we commence our 6th and final round between Hector Rapidito Flores, once again from Zona Norte, Tijuana, Mexico, against Jesus Flaco Lemus, Zamora, Michoacán. And Lemus not having too many answers for Hector Speedy Flores, which we're now getting from the truck, since neither one of us
could do it.
Neither one of us are both fluent in Spanish, fluent in English, and we couldn't think of Speedy. Shame on you, Dylan. Shame on you. I'm gonna blame this one completely on you, like I do everything on my wife usually when you're not here.
I'm going to remember that, Chris.
You are going to remember that.
You know, we were wondering at the beginning of the fight if those 2 years off were going to have any effect in Lemus' performance. I believe that we are seeing that taking 2 years off has definitely affected it.
Well, definitely we don't know. There wasn't any video on like we like to prepare on Jesus Lemus. You know, considering he is from Zamora, Michoacán, nothing on YouTube, nothing from his, no fights, you know, that we can have tape on. So we don't have anything to compare it to besides his 11-1 record.
Yeah, Chris, that's what I'm basing it on, the 11-1 record with 7 knockouts, you know.
Okay, I understand that. I see that. You expected more from Lemus, you know.
I expected more.
And good pressure from Flores, kept it up. The whole fight really didn't give Lemus an inch, didn't give him time to think about what he wanted to do, didn't give him time to shake off that ring rust.
I like that Flores is staying calm. He has hurt him a couple of times, and he hasn't gone crazy.
He's not gone crazy, exactly. But maybe he should go crazy, you know, trying to get that stoppage as he lands that right hand. Because consistent shots, but Lemus is taking him, and he hurts him to the body for the first time in and Lemus makes the count, getting up at 9. We'll see if Flores can finish off the fight, or is Lemus going to survive? He seems to have.
Yeah, like I said, Chris, everybody who gets in there is a warrior, and you're not going to see Lemus quit.
Yeah, you're not seeing him quit, and he's surviving. You got 10 seconds. Can Flores step up the game and finish the fight? Looks like Lemus is gonna survive, and he does. Dominating fight by Hector Rapidito Flores, who we now know is Speedy in English. Jesus Flaco Lemus could not muster enough to win a round, survive the fight. Good fight by both fighters. You know, going back to what you said, the layoff did affect him. 95 amateur fights for Jesus Flaco Lemus. You know, good amateur record. 11-1, good pro record. Just couldn't do enough against a hard fighter in Hector Flores.
And you do have to give it out to Lemus. He hung in there and took punishment for 6 rounds. That's a heart of a champion.
Yes, he did not win a round, in my opinion. I'm not a judge. He did tough it out. But one point that I wanted to touch on throughout this fight, but the fight was good, so it really didn't get to it. Jesus Flaco Lemus, he's an industrial engineer. He majored he's an industrial engineer, so he's got something to fall back on. You know, boxing is not his money maker. You know, he does it because he wants to. You know, he's got a good job back home in Zamora, Michoacan. So I'm not saying I felt bad for him here, but he's got something to fall back on if this boxing thing doesn't work out. So here we got more combinations landing by Hector Rapidito Flores on Hector Flaco Lemus. Little bit of technical difficulties from the truck. All right, we're just going to go ahead and say that they showed us those beautiful combinations thrown by Hector Flores throughout the whole fight. Dylan, do you see it the same way as I did? I didn't really see Lemus winning a round. What did you see?
I see it as a unanimous decision for Flores.
Yeah, putting the little cherry on top as we take it to Pablo Flores for the official announcement.
We now go to the judges' scorecards. Después de 6 rounds de combate, nos vamos con la decisión de los jueces. All 3 judges, los 3 jueces, Juan Luis Barba, Leonardo Ibarra y Francisco Pacheco have the scores of 60-53. Coinciden en números 60-53. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su vencedor por la vía de la decisión unánime. Team Zona Norte de Tijuana, Hector Rapidito Flores. And also big round of applause for his opponent. También un fuerte aplauso para su oponente de Zamora, Michoacán, Jesus Flaco.